This is Joyce Tice. It's August 2016. This is the 50th anniversary of the musical group, the Rinky Dinks, and I'm interviewing Annie Harris Clark and her sister Alene Harris York, who've been with it from the beginning. Can one of you tell us, first of all, what is a Rinky Dink, and how did this organization get started?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start. Roseville had an old home day for many years, and we always had a parade. We went up around the green twice in Roseville, and the Mansfield High School band used to come and play. We wanted music in our parade, but then it got so the Mansfield High School band either didn't want to come. You know, Roseville was kind of a small town and nobody was all that interested. So then we had the junior high band come, and after a while the junior high band, it was hard to get them together. Their only pay was we served them lunch out in our mother's backyard, which was right across the street from the green. So when we didn't have a band, we didn't know what to do for music. And our Baptist minister at that time, Reverend David McGarvey, said, well, I'll bet there are enough of you people in Roseville that have instruments in your attic and things that you used to play in high school, and I'll bet we could get up our own band. So we spread the word, and we came up with enough people.
And he played trumpet.
Okay.
He played trumpet.
Yeah. So we started in, and that's how it came about. And we just wore whatever we wore, you know, shorts or crazy things. But we didn't get our official uniforms until a few years later. But we tried to get, you know, we took anybody from elementary school up through whatever age.
And how did the name Rinky Dinks come about?
Okay. Short Dunkelberger was at that first parade, and we went up around, as we went up around the green, and afterwards he said, well, not bad for a bunch of Rinky Dinks. So we became the Roseville Rinky Dinks.
Now, who were the, I suspect your mother was a very important part of organizing this. Can you tell us a little bit about her background and she had quite a musical background. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, she graduated from Mansfield in 1930. I think that was the first class that it was a four-year, they had four-year degrees.
You're talking about the college.
Yes, the Mansfield College. Mm-hmm. And so it went from the normal school to the Mansfield
State Teachers College
at that time. And so she had a four-year degree in music. And then after that, she went to New York University, NYU, for her master's.
Okay.
So she had a good musical background, and she taught music only for a couple of years before she started her family, came back to Roseville, and started her family. So she had a lot to do with the music in the Roseville churches, both the Baptist and the Methodist churches. Mm-hmm. So when we started talking about having a band, of course, she was very interested and encouraged us. And
she didn't think she could play in it, even though she had a drum. But
why did she not think she could?
Well, it never occurred to her that she could play with us. Did it?
So it took a while for her to begin to play. She loved to drum, but you know, she had instruments that everybody else could borrow. You know, we had a trumpet and a clarinet and probably a half a dozen violins under the bed upstairs that she loaned out periodically. And so we had a lot of instruments, and of course she had encouraged her family to play instruments. So
did she give lessons?
She gave piano lessons. She gave piano lessons of the elementary children at the Roseville School, and so she taught a lot of people how to read music and introduced them to music and got them interested.
So you started out just marching around the green in Roseville, and that would have been in 1966. Mm-hmm. And when was your first public appearance outside of Roseville?
That was Mainsburg.
Oh, it was Mainsburg?
Maybe, probably.
Probably.
When was that?
I think we came to Mansfield first.
Did you?
I think we came to the Mansfield 4th of July parade first, but at different times we went to East Smithfield and in the night, and then they had some kind of a doings, and then we went to Mainsburg, and we have been invited. I remember having a list. People, I mean, they just loved us. And I think one year we were invited to 9 parades,
Really?
but we just couldn't go.
New York, Chicago, Los
Oh, yes.
Angeles.
Absolutely.
Well, even the Laurel Parade.
Oh.
We were invited to come to the Laurel Parade, but we just couldn't do it.
Uh-huh. Well, people who live around here know how small these towns are that you're talking about. But those outside, I mean, these are towns that have a population numbered in the hundreds. Right?
Well, I think it's 225 in Roseville.
Is it?
I was going to say 211, but
People move in and out.
yes.
And when did you start? Tell us about your uniforms, and when did, whose idea was this, and when did you start doing that?
I have no idea whose idea it was. Do you remember?
I know. I think I know. I wore bib overalls in the barn, and a lot of people did. And I think that's how it started. And then people started bringing us bib overalls, but I don't remember what year it was. It probably, if we looked at the pictures,
Right.
we could tell when it was. But because I mean, right now I have just shy of 80 pairs of bib overalls in our attic.
Of all
and they're
sizes.
from size 6 months to 50.
Wow.
So in case you need any, just call me up.
You could go in business, start a bib overall shop. Now, you enhanced your performances, not just with music, but with other theatrical elements.
Just
Theatrical,
we
okay.
call it the lawn chair brigade. A lot of people have a flag routine at the head of their band, so we have a lawn chair thing. And that came about because a lot of people wanted to be involved in the Rinky Dinks, but they did not play an instrument. And the few requirements in order to be a Rinky Dink are, number one, you have to play a legitimate instrument. It's not a pots and pans band, it's not a kazoo band. You have to play some kind of an instrument. And then you have to wear bib overalls as their uniform, and you have to come to at least one practice. And that one practice might be running over the song before the parade starts.
Okay.
So we pretty much invite and accept anybody that's willing.
And we have our music is very difficult because we've been playing the same numbers for 50 years.
But you have new people all the time.
We have new people.
So it's old to you, but new to them.
It's new to them, but it's they loaned us. Dr. Baines loaned us music. He was teaching at the college by that time, and Jack Wilcox, and they loaned us the music from the university, or would have been, whatever it was, and they loaned us music, of which I still have some of it in our attic, but we still play the same 2 songs.
Now, did John Baines or Jack Wilcox ever participate in your group?
Yes, they did. They played sousaphone.
Okay, because both of them are legends in music in this town.
In this area.
Absolutely.
And they were so supportive. I mean, I would go to the university and Dr. Baines would look through his stuff and hit whatever he had, and they were so supportive. And Jack Wilcox, I mean, stepped right up to the plate and played the sousaphone, and we have wonderful pictures, and just so appreciative of their support.
Now, with your lawn chairs, you don't just throw them around.
It's a regular routine.
It is.
Louise New was the one that initiated that effort, and she kind of heads it up, although others have taken charge if she's not around or not able to. They teach the new ones the routine, but it just kind of enhances the whole thing. It just makes it fun for everybody.
But don't throw away your lawn chair, because now they're fancy. Lawn chairs
Yes.
you buy now are fancy. So
Yeah, I've got one hanging on my father's observatory with all the strapping gone, but you can re-strap them.
But we don't even need the strapping.
Oh, you don't?
We need the aluminum framework so that
you've
you
got
can
one
clap
more.
them together. Okay.
thank you very much.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Will you still be, now at this point you perform just once a year in 4th of July parade. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody that can, we have a patriotic service at the United Methodist Church in Roseville that's closest to the 4th of July, and we play a couple of songs for that as well. But that doesn't include everybody because other people have things to do on Sunday morning, and so that's not part of the parade. But
What is the largest number of people you've had participating in this at any one time?
Well, I think it's almost this year, Alene.
well,
We
probably
had
I think,
60-some.
Wow.
but
well,
that includes everybody.
That includes
Yeah.
the
I
lawn
think
chair
we
brigade.
had, I think we had 36 that actually played instruments this year. 36 instruments, and then you've got the lawn chair brigade, and then we have
The banner.
Yeah, 2 people carry the banner, which we made out of old denim jeans, and then we always have a few people that, maybe adults that are hauling little kids on wagons that throw candy and that kind of thing. So if you count everybody, there were 60 or even maybe more.
Well, everybody who's been to a 4th of July parade in Mansfield knows that you sometimes take breaks, but people who haven't seen this need to have that explained to them.
Well, we'll explain the breaks, but you'll also know that because we are now old, they put us at the end. And when you see the pictures and see people wait for the Roseville Rinky Dinks, so we're just tickled right to death that they wait for us.
Because you sit down in your lawn chairs.
Yeah, well, we do.
Well,
Right.
If the lawn chairs are sittable,
And if not, we can lay down.
we just lie down on the floor, on the ground.
And we talk to people come that we see, our friends, we haven't seen them in years. Hi, how are you?
Well, I one time went to the 4th of July parade specifically to see the Rinky Dinks, and I waited and I waited and I waited and I waited and decided that you weren't in the parade that year. So I didn't get to see you that year.
Well, we were there.
Were we there? Were
Yeah,
we
you
there?
were there. Yes, you were there.
We were at the end.
One other
But you were way at the end.
That's right.
The parade was over and you hadn't come through.
Well, that's because we were tired and we had to take a rest.
Well, one other person that we need to mention, too, that was very supportive was Bill Beresford,
Okay.
the high school band teacher, because he was so good about loaning instruments, as well as Dr. Baines and Jack Wilcox, because he supplied us with music, he supplied us with a set of drums, as well as Ollie Sexton when he was living. And so it isn't just a one-person deal. Many in the community have helped us to keep it going.
Well, it certainly is a local phenomenon.
Thank you very much.
You wouldn't find its equal any other place.
Well, we have 13 drums in our attic in case somebody happens to need one.
Well, we're getting to the end of our time, but it sounds to me like if you had 60-some people participating this year, the 50th year is not the last year of the Rinky Dinks.
Absolutely not.
We hope not.
Okay.
We hope not.
Thanks for coming in, and thanks for loaning us your pictures so we can put up a slideshow of Rinky Dinks.
Okay.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.